faster. And I got a Sentinel Rush, so I can safely use my activate my overdrive. I probably shouldn't use my fire spell to weaken it again. Oh well. Alright, let's use the fires to weaken them. Now that he's weakened, I'll go ahead and use my overdrive again. And by the way, that charging that you see, like the pink, I'll showcase it. That's actually me holding the trigger button. It's basically, it functions just like the Mega Buster would, essentially, in a Mega Man game. And I got him. Yeah, the assist with Afida, that does a lot of damage. Your assists do a ton of damage in this game. So let's keep that in. That done. I think we're just about done here. Grab everything. Oh, one more. One mimic. Full HP. Alright, so I think this is the last mimic. Let's go ahead and now, I'm not gonna use my overdrive because I don't have anything. Yeah, those timings are very tight. Very tough enemy. Tried to squeeze in my overdrive in between those attacks, but I missed the timing. But I mean, you guys get the gist of this. And like I say, it's very risky, like going for those mimics, because as you saw from the last mimic fight, that was like 200 abyss shards right there. So it's almost like the scale of this here, or one of these fights. Actually, I'll go ahead and do that fight. Actually, before I do that fight, I'm gonna go ahead and did this one right here, right? Yeah, this one right there. Yeah, might plus. Oh, I already have this. What's this? All right, since we're done with the access, I'm just gonna go ahead and swap it out for this assist damage. So Afida will do 50% more damage now. We have all blue. Yeah, and these fights, like the difficulty of these fights vary depending on what kind of build or loadout you go in. But, I mean, I have kind of the minimum build. I have no, I'm not using any essence cards, which are, if you guys know about like the Navi customizer from the Mega Man Battle Network games, that's basically the essence cards, and I have none equipped. So normally a player would have at least 4 or 5 essence cards equipped by this stage of the game. And since I have 0, it is a lot more like a challenge. So when you guys play, these fights won't be nearly as tough because you guys would have access to more at this stage. Better cards, probably a higher level, and essence cards, which can make a drastic difference in the difficulty of these fights. Got the level 2. Oh yeah, this probably shouldn't have. Yeah, this is gonna be the last fight, and then I'll just showcase some of the effects because we can actually run to the final boss or the sequence stage now. But I'm not gonna show that here in this devlog. But yeah, as much different as you saw as from what we had in the beginning of the dungeon when we entered. We have we got 2 extra slots, crystal slots, and we got all boons here. And these are some nice boons like card speed plus, which is increases the rate of the card scrolling, assist damage plus 50%. So Aphida, our companion here, does a lot more damage when we're doing the double axe slam, and she has more attacks too, but just that there does a ton of damage. Weapon arts. So all of my attacks that aren't based on cards are her assists. 50% extra damage, and my might, which is my attack stat, that boosts our damage a little bit. So that's pretty good. Now I'm gonna do this, and then I'm going to showcase. I'm gonna open up my script and showcase some of the other effects you can potentially have. There won't be in game; they'll be in the script, just what I have in the background. But I'm gonna try to do this fight here. It's gonna be really tough because no mana. Let's see. Yeah, it's gonna be a tough fight. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna. This is basically the same thing, but it's damage minus 50%. It's less annoying than no mana. Got a barrier right off the bat, so that means we're gonna use our overdrive. This will rack up our combo a whole lot, so we'll be doing a lot of damage as long as we don't miss our combo or take any hits. And keep in mind, we have the damage, our damage is half from that crystal effect too, so we're not doing as much damage as we should be. But because I got that overdrive off, that really boosts our combo. And really made us do a whole lot of damage. Big damage. I think this is the final guy of the wave. Oh no, one more. Got it. Alright, cool. So, yeah, this is pretty much Dungeons in a nutshell, guys. Alright, so yeah, guys, this is the list here of the different crystal effects that you can have. And there's, so far I have like 60 of both boons and demerits. So I have like weapon arts, ×2 combo. What this does is it doubles your combo count. So if you were to hit an enemy with an attack that has 2 hits, it does 4 hits instead of 2. Really powerful. Then we have a demerit no combo. So if no combo, that means no damage multiplier, because the higher your combo, the higher your damage. It caps at 300. I think it's like ×10 damage at 300 combo. So it's really strong. And no combo, that's a big nerf. EXP, self-explanatory. This is the main stats. So vigorous HP, MP, attack, defense, magic defense, agility, dexterity. Agility affects the card speed as well as the attack power of certain cards. Uh, Vigor equals one. That's a demerit. Basically, your HP equals one. So if you get hit once, you're dead. Uh, Assuming you have no mana. Uh, no assist. Self-explanatory. Infinite overdrive. That's exactly as it sounds. You can just spam overdrive infinitely, and yeah, super busted. It's a nice boon. This won't be a common boon, and it'll be more hidden. But if you do manage to find this, you can just go to town and have a lot of fun with this. Really like that. No overdrive, self-explanatory. Cancel artillery. No, you have no cards that appear in your equipment slot, so it's just your regular weapon arts. Uh, Cancel physical. That means any attacks that have uh, physical based attacks, 0 damage. Magical based attacks, 0 damage. I forgot if this is for cards or not. I think it's all damage. Not sure. Yeah, I think it's all damage. Death touch. This one is whatever anything that hits you always do full HP or MP. So basically, it makes it that way your defense is like uh, you don't have any defense. Whatever hits you always do max HP. So that's a really rough one. It's a demerit. Card speed, self-explanatory. Equip Zeta. This one is pretty fun. This one's unique. What this does is uh, Zeta armaments are card effects that uh, they if you get like three of a kind of like or three different cards or certain cards that line up in your artillery screen, they may form uh, if they're the ingredients to a Zeta armament, you'll get like a really powerful card. And when you use it, it's a special thing. I showcased. I was actually using it a lot for the fire spell. When I got three of a kind with the fire spell, the screen would like change white, and she would use a powerful attack. What this does is this actually has it that way. Those Zeta cards, you'll just have random Zeta cards scroll in, and you can use them. This is really strong. It's basically broken, but it's a really nice hidden boon. It's kind of like the Infinite Overdrive, where it's rare, but if you find it, you just have fun with it. And this is actually very useful for filling up your Zeta library, because you get an achievement for getting all the for using all the Zeta cards in the game. And this equips Zeta. The selection of Zeta cards that can scroll in is pretty high. It's not all the Zeta cards in the game, but it's a good chunk of them. So that's very useful for filling up your Zeta library for achievements. Uh, Action Trigger Plus. This is Action Trigger is the button, like the right trigger button, or like if you're playing with a regular controller, it's the right trigger button. If you press that, you'll use an action that's germane to the class. Since I was playing the default no class form of Zola, it was basically the Mega Buster attack that you saw. Uh, this actually, what this does is there's actually numbers for how many times you can use an action trigger. It's up to 9. Since the base form Zola, the Mega Buster, you can use it infinitely. This boon doesn't affect it, but the no action trigger does affect it. So if I'm not using base form Zola, you have infinite action triggers for the other classes, but in this one you have none. And this actually affects the base form of the Mega Buster, where you can't use it, or I should say the Spirit Buster attack. Heat damage plus 50, heat damage minus. These are elemental modifiers, self-explanatory. Dark, light, all that. No essences. This is what I was talking about with like equips. that modify different properties. I'll do a devlog on that because that's going to require its own devlog later. Um, but they're basically effects that you can equip, and they're actually the items that I was winning off of those mimics. The few fights I didn't win, uh, that's what those were essences, and they have special effects. So no essences. This is basically what I had the whole time. I had no essences equipped, and I made this dungeon a lot harder than what it seemed. So when you guys play, you'll have essences, and the dungeon will be a lot easier from that because some of the essences, like, they reduce the damage you take, or they buff certain cards, so they're really nice. No dodging. It's exactly as it sounds. If you press the confirm button to dodge enemy attacks, it doesn't do anything. This is really tough. It's not a big deal if you play like a class like the Palace class, where you can rely on your shield to block everything. But for most classes, that's pretty rough. Uh, no white cards. We saw that. No mega cards. That was the mega card Keiko that came in with the lightning. No Giga cards. That's a higher form or a higher tier card that's really powerful. They're very rare. If you play Mega Man Battle Network, then yeah, it's what you're thinking. No cores. These were the items I was using uh, to, like, restore health, or uh, to prevent battles. If you have this makes it so you can't use any of them, and it wipes away your effects, like to prevent battles or whatnot. So this is a really rough one. Some dungeons, they have it where they're gray effects, so you can't use items at all in those dungeons. So that's a really nasty one. Uh, but you won't see this until like the later dungeons in the game, where you can actually do something about it if you're prepared. No class change. Uh, During battles, you can change your class. Uh, Depending on if you select a card that with the element that corresponds to the class you're using. Uh, this prevents you from doing that. This also prevents you from changing your class in the menu screen as well. So this is again, this is some dungeons. They have gray crystal effects where you go in, and this is effect you have for the entire dungeon. So that's something to keep in mind. No class abilities. This is when you're selecting certain cards, either in like either the first card, second card, or third card. Certain classes have certain abilities that proc depending on which card you select in that menu, and this prevents that from popping off. The base form class that I was using, that it doesn't have any class abilities, so this means nothing from what I was showcasing in this devlog. But later on in the game, I mean, certain deck strategies or whatnot are entirely based or built around class abilities, and this can be pretty debilitating to your strategy uh, if you're not prepared for that. Post wave heal. At the end of a wave, when you see more enemies come in, or at the end of a battle, it'll completely fully restore your HP and MP. Very nice. Post wave damage, it does the opposite. You can put your mana or your MP at 0 and your HP at 1. At the end of each wave. So yeah, right now I have 60. Technically, I have 62 crystal effects. I might add a few more, but this is pretty much, I think this is a healthy amount for the game, and I'm really happy with how this turned out. Like the whole menu with the animated crystals on the side, I really like that. It didn't take as long as I thought it would to program this in and make it pretty, but I'm pretty satisfied with how it turned out. I think it looks nice aesthetically, and yeah. So I'm going to go with this for my dungeons in this game, and moving forward, I'll showcase the sequence stage. I'm not going to showcase any cutscenes involving the sequence stage for obvious reasons, because I don't want to show anything, into the story just yet. But I will show the sequence stage in and of itself. It'll be similar to what you guys saw in my previous Sigma Stage video a while back. I think it might have been last year. But yeah, that'll be coming up not too long from now as like a small, quick battle test. And then after I get this dungeon complete, this dungeon right now is like 75-80% complete. I just have to finish the quest for it. I'll probably either move on to another dungeon or really try to tackle that opening cutscene. There's some maps I have to finish mapping out for that opening cutscene that I have to do. So we'll see. But yeah, I am still working on this game, guys. So it's not going anywhere. I know I haven't shown any updates in a while, so I figured I'd showcase a devlog going over these dungeons, since this is a major part of the game. I figured this was worth showing off, so you guys can have some sort of idea of like the main challenge moving forward. And yeah, so thank you for making it this far, and stay tuned.